Hi, this is Lynn with MI Tinker, and today I am going to be working with my niece who is going to be replacing a toilet. We're going to be the go-to team for getting this project done. And here are a few things that you're going to need for replacing a toilet. Adjustable wrench. You're going to need crescent wrench. In our case, it's a 7/16. It's good to have a putty knife, screwdriver, a bucket, and a siphon if you have a siphon, and just some good old girl power in getting it done. So this is Lynn with MI Tinker. Join me and my niece Kate for getting this toilet changed out.
There are a couple reasons I'm really excited about this. The first is it's an older toilet. I'm going to be able to replace it with a toilet that does a big flush at, I think, 1.6 gallon per flush toilet. Well, it's a lower flush, so it'll be using less water for every single flush. And here in this house, we have a holding tank, so that is going to save us a lot of money in the end. The second thing that we're excited about it is, as an older toilet, this does not meet today's ADA standards. This is really low, so it's hard to sit down in it because you have a long drop. So the toilet we're replacing it is going to be a little bit taller. Another accessibility thing is this toilet has the little round shape, but that's hard to sit on, so we're replacing it with the elongated toilet, and those two things combined, the height and the shape, are going to make it a lot easier for everybody. Let's get started. First step is going to be to turn off the water supply. That is down here. And we are going to do a righty-tighty to get this water completely turned off. Now, with no more water coming in, with this valve turned off, we're going to flush the toilet. And that's going to mostly empty out our tank. So we can see there's still a little water in there, so our next step is going to be to get that emptied out.
There are two ways to get this water out. You can use a scoop, like a plastic cup. You can sponge it out, or you can siphon it out. And same thing with what's left over in the toilet. So we're going to try and do the siphon on it. Here's the siphon, and the siphon, in essence, pumps it from one to the other just by squeezing the bulb.
Keeps on.
And then we'll put the toilet seat down, put the bucket on top of the toilet seat, and get the rest out of the tank. It's going pretty fast, really. It's going to be a good idea to have a towel on hand, a couple of old towels, because you're going to need it. There's no way that you're going to get out of this without getting a little water on the floor or yourself. So be ready with an extra towel or some rags. Okay, Kate is done with the siphoning of the toilet. We're as far as we can go.
Okay.
Let that drain.
Alrighty. Screwdriver or a putty knife to pop these off to get to our phalanges.
Okay, both sides.
Both sides. Lefty loosey.
And we'll do that to both sides.
Both sides. Looks like I've got that, a washer, and then the plastic piece.
Now our next step is to disconnect the water line to the toilet. So just to be clear, this is the retaining ring for the toilet, and this is actually for the water line. So we'll just finish taking off the water line, and remember to have something underneath it, like a towel or a bucket. There, and that's it. That is off, and the toilet should be able to be lifted off now. And we're gonna have some towels ready again, and two people to help lift it off in case it's pretty heavy. Yep, underneath, straight up.
That's definitely a two-person job.
Two-person. Bye-bye toilet. let's put a rag in where the drain gas from coming out. Okay, but it has to be a big enough rag so it doesn't fall into it.
This is the time to get the floor cleaned up, and if you want to get your back wall painted, now's the time to do it.
Well, hello.
All right, we've got the floor cleaned up, we've got the wall painted, and I've got this taped out of the way so it doesn't get paint on it. So while the paint dries, I'm gonna clean up this plastic flange, and we're gonna get out these bolts. They kind of slide around in here. I can slide them out to this area where they can come out. This is gonna go the other way. There's quite a bit of goop. There we go. So we're gonna get all of the old wax off of the flange now. All right, we've got a tinker tip for you. Before you remove those bolts, take a Sharpie and mark out a line of location on where the bolts are. We forgot to do that. No big deal. We just measured and marked where they'll need to be. Now it's time to put in those new bolts. We'll put it in the big end and slide it to our mark. And then I can lower the nut down.
Is this the first time you've done a toilet, Kate?
It sure is.
So what have you learned so far?
Everything. Now, do I want these to be tight?
You want them to be snug and not easily movable.
What happens if I ever tighten it?
You could crack all the plastic.
Oh, shoot. I don't want to do that. All right, so we've got the toilet upside down. We've got it well supported on our towel and a mat. This came with its own wax ring with a cone. The cone we used as a handle to plunk on there. And then I made sure I got right over it so I could see down and get it nice and centered. And I pressed it on there so that it is fast. And now we're ready to do a 2-person lift. Flip it up and put it down on the hole.
Okay. All right, this is another MI Tinker tip, and it's a big one. Remember to remove the rag that is in the drain for the toilet, or it will not work properly. You will end up with a toilet backing up or not flushing. So once that is removed, let's set that toilet. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
All right, don't let the wax ring hit it.
Yeah.
Make it easier just with one person.
Okay.
All right, you're gonna take that towel out underneath when I count to 3. Ready?
Okay, out.
Okay. Your
Okay,
head.
yeah, come down. You're good on this one.
Good here too. All right, we're gonna make sure it's square before we seat it.
Yeah.
All right, this is when we take our weight, press it down. Press it, let's just double check. It moved just a little bit. You see that?
Yeah, I did.
Another thing we can do is we can take some of this tape, because it's not yet set, we can mark the position of it. So if it does slide a little bit, we can readjust. Okay. These are the parts that go onto the bolt in the order that Kate is showing it. So the last step in this is to take some pliers and turn it 1/4 turn, and that finishes it.
Okay, 1/4.
1/4 turn, and that's as tight as you want to go. Ready to put the flush mechanism on the top of the toilet tank, and it has a single drop, which is for a single short flush, low flow, and then of course if you have more that you need to flush down, you got the double drop there for the full flush. So what we're going to do, and I'm going to turn it your way so your orientation is the double flush is pointing toward the bowl, and then we have a retaining ring, and that retaining ring goes on the flip side here and tightens down. And you do want to just hand tighten it. So the direction of this again is the double drop goes toward the front of the toilet. Now, Kate came up with a great idea because the instructions said the double flush goes, or the single flush goes on the blue. Well, that doesn't look blue to either Kate or I. But it did say the white was for the double flush. So Kate put on with her handy Sharpie the double drop or a double flush with the Sharpie. So we know that that's in front. And then as soon as the paint is dry, we can slide that on and give it a test run. But in the meantime, we can get the water lines hooked up and we can get the seat put on the toilet. All right, Kate, we got a little more to do and we'll be on the home stretch here.
Okay. Hand tighten?
Yep, hand tight. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and turn the water on and we're going to check for a leak. You see any drips? It's wet?
I think so.
Tighten it, see if you can tighten it anymore. That's loose, yeah.
Test.
Success! Whee! We're putting on the toilet seat right now, and this is the hinge gasket. Slide that on the hinge itself. There are little pegs there that go into the holes that are associated on that hinge. And we'll just press it in until it's flat, and then we're ready to seat this on the toilet. And this is a slow close toilet, so this will be interesting. I've never done one of these. I slide the bolt in on both of them. All right, and now underneath we have a washer, and then we have a two-part nut that tightens it down. So the washer will go on first, and let's see, I have to get down low here and start threading that on. So you'll tighten that down, and you'll do it on both sides. And once that's tight, you're going to use a screwdriver to finish tightening it. And I have a large screwdriver with a large head on it. Another trick you can use is a dime. A dime works really well for this type of thing. So you can see what a wide blade that is. And we'll just tighten that. And you want to make sure that the seat is centered before you finish tightening it. You know how sometimes you sit on a seat and it'll slide left or right because these are loose. So make sure it's square to begin with. And then tighten it down. And then you'll be good to go. Literally. There we go. And then that just clicks down. Put the tank lid on and we have a finished toilet. Woohoo! So what an adventure this has been. We've got a great new toilet. It's a Glacier Bay, and it's a low flow, very eco-friendly toilet. And we'll put the specs in the description. Please hit the like button if you like this video, and hit the subscribe button as well. That helps MI Tinker grow. Thanks again for watching, and please subscribe.